There's nothing to worry about. The most powerful exorcists among us are working on it right now. And they'll make sure that we touch down on the ground safely.
Exorcists? Like the ones with amazing powers who healed people during the epidemic? That's right. So please, have faith in us.
Peace. Now is a vibrate. Y'all know what it is. The most subtlest word magic / spell that could be casted in connection with soul contracts and contracts in general. And before speaking on this, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, understanding to be aware of when you're projecting your fear of commitment, you know what I'm saying, because some of us may fear commitment. So anytime somebody tries to connect with us for the long term, we kind of get triggered, you know what I'm saying? I feel like something is wrong, you know, but being aware of the subtle spell of a contract of somebody talking to you and subtly like, oh yeah, well, I could see us doing this together. You know, we should do this, you know, like, but it's subtle, but it's like, if you don't disagree or at least rebuttal in your mind, like, you know, you either be silent and have a, you know, a mental rebuttal, or, you know, you express it with like, well, nah, man, I don't know about we doing this, or, you know what I'm saying, or us, you know what I'm saying? But that's a subtle way of somebody, you know, trying to talk you into a contract without you knowing, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, in most cases, upon my journey, most people who know you have, like, that's sensitive to energy like you are, in essence, you know what I'm saying, they'll pick up on the fact, well, let me not, you know, try to subtly persuade them to work with me long term, because I see that as a trigger. I see that they're dealing with that, so I'm not gonna say no shit like that, you know what I'm saying, compared to somebody, and again, maybe they just don't see it and aware of it, but regardless, you know, it's your job to be aware to not agree to those subtle types of contracts, you know, where somebody like, oh man, well, you know, man, I see us working at a crystal shop together, man. I see us, you know, doing readings together, man. Yeah, well, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got something going on myself, or I'm still doing my inner work, or, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, and again, whether you say it out loud or you internally, like, you know, like, nah, I'm not with that, you know what I'm saying? But in some way, just making sure that you're aware to not, like, go along with those types of energies, you know, when, you know, you don't want to, you know, but again, that's like a subtle spell, word magic type of, you know, energy. And again, I speak full circle. I don't just speak on that extreme, oh, it's all me, everything's a reflection, because it's levels to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it is certain reflections of your subconscious, but then there's certain reflections of your subconscious programming that you're no longer aligning with that might show up in your experience external. Do you just agree to going along with it because, oh, it's all a reflection? Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be aware of, you know, the nuances of our experience of the internal external relationship, in essence, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, hence again, like, having to be aware of yourself so strongly. But, you know, as I was gonna say, is being aware of, you know, how or why you attract those types of beings that subtly try to, you know, come at you that way. And it may be, again, because you don't set any boundaries, or you may be a people pleaser, so you attract people who kind of, like, you know, may try to overtly or stealthily, try to push themselves on you or make themselves a part of your life, you know what I'm saying, when you may not want that, you know what I'm saying, you got to be aware again. If you like extremely fearful of commitments, this is a trigger area, so you got to understand how to, all right, work on your fear of commitment, or see if you don't want to be committed to a certain relationship, then what you're going to do if you're not being committed, like, what you're going to put in the place of a committed relationship. You got to be doing something else, you know what I'm saying? And again, just paying attention to those subtleties of the whole man, we should, start this kind of, I was thinking, man, we should, like that, we should do this, or I would, I had a dream where I saw us doing this, and again, it has like that subtle energy for you to like agree with it, or to agree by not disagreeing, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, again, your silence in some cases could be a form of agreement, if you're not making it obvious, because sometimes some people could just, again, use that energy of like, oh, well, I didn't hear you say no, or, say that you wasn't with it, so I thought you was kind of in agreement with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of energy. Be aware, you know what I'm saying? Be aware. Because you don't want to, again, because that's where it does come in, where you're responsible and it's all you, because you get into one of those subtle types of contracts like that, it is your fault, you know what I'm saying, because you wasn't aware to say no, or, to disagree, in that situation, so although, it was a subtle approach to trying to get you to agree to something that you may not want to agree to, ultimately it was your, not listening to the parts of you that was letting you know, like, no, I'm not with that, and being afraid, or should I say the parts of you that was afraid to speak up. And that goes to inner child work. Like, being a child, you was probably scared to speak up because it was going to make somebody mad, or, you used to get whippings whenever you would speak up, So literally you may be afraid of that confrontation or making somebody feel some kind of way when you speak up as an adult, you know what I'm saying? So just be aware, again, we moving through this Lionsgate energy. So a lot of little inner child, cleaning up on the inner child work, you know what I'm saying? Cleaning up, in essence, letting go of certain contracts as of late. I want to feel like, as of lately, this energy of like some of us almost like dealing with the court system of the universe, you know what I'm saying? Like the Libra/Saturn energy. And there's multiple, you could say, other archetypes that connect with it, but like the Libra energy of like balancing those scales out, making sure things is like, balanced out, karmically. Our karmic balance in essence is not in debt, you know what I'm saying? Like we got our heart light as a feather, and we balancing things out karmically, making sure that we're being, responsible karmically. Because it's like, all right, you get a chance to break out of that contract that, may have been subtly, subtly brought into your realm without you really knowing how to deal with it. All right, cool. You made that mistake. You get a chance to get free from that, But now, you know, you're being held accountable. Now you know what the quote unquote, you know, red flags is and things of this nature, you know what I'm saying? And you know, right now, more and more you're realizing, like, with anybody talking about their perspectives, it's all us basically magicianing and witching and warlocking our perspectives with word magic. You know what I'm saying? Because some people who, like, I done heard and saw some people like, oh, there ain't no such thing as red flags. Red flags is a situation where you being scared. But yet, they got a lifestyle where they even talked about letting people go. Before they let those people go, I'm pretty sure there were red flags. You know what I'm saying? But again, word to the cicadas and the rebirth energy, because that's literally like, you know, helping to rebirth, you know what I'm saying, right now with this type of understanding. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, be aware. Again, that's why I openly, you know, share in a manner where it's like, hey, you don't have to listen to me. You know, again, I'm not trying to persuade you to see things my way. You know what I'm saying? And again, there's no good or bad or right or wrong, you know what I'm saying, completely to anybody's, you know, lifestyle. But it is understanding, you know, what aligns and what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, again, like, people like, oh, it ain't no red flags, you just being scared, you know, or it ain't no such thing as, you know, toxicity. Where if it wasn't, then why did you start doing chakra work? Why did you start doing breathing techniques? Why are you working out now? You know, if there's no such thing as toxicity. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and being aware, though, how, again, certain things could be phrased and worded or, you know, magically spelled in a manner that, you know, tries to get you to see it. And again, you want to be open-minded and understand and have empathy for different perspectives. But again, like, you know, being open-minded and aware of different perspectives doesn't mean you have to agree to a perspective that doesn't align for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just point blank. But yeah, just, you know what I'm saying, be aware of the subtle spell of, oh man, I saw us doing this, man, you know, and man, I saw this little spot, bro, where we could probably, you know, like, we barely talk. Like, how it is when we barely talk and all of a sudden you got things that we could do together. Oh man, and, you know, it's no judgment towards those situations, because sometimes some people doing it and it's something that if they knew they were subtly trying to get people to, you know, work with them or, you know, or contract into a relationship with them subtly, like if they knew they were like doing that type of spell magic indirectly, maybe they working on themselves to try not to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's not to judge a person as all bad or all good, you know, but it's not to judge a person like wholly off of just that one moment, you know what I'm saying? But it is understanding what that is in essence, you know what I'm saying? Just that expression itself, you know what I'm saying? And not to judge the person, you know, as, oh, they completely bad because they were trying to get me to, you know, it's like, no, you know, because again, ultimately nobody could get you to do nothing, you know what I'm saying? You know, you have the right to agree or disagree. Because for the most part, you're not going to be harmed unless you believe that you're going to be harmed. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the energy of, you know, you could say almost like how the police system, you know, like where they try to like stomp at you and like, you know, make you afraid of them. in essence, so you could kind of get your own self into a fearful vibration, mentally and emotionally to attract that situation, but for the most part, all they could do is kind of like, stump their feet at you, and like, but ultimately, you know what I'm saying? It's all you. But anyway, just, oh man, I had a dream about, me and you, man, oh, that's cool, And again, you could feel it, it kind of feel funny. It feel like, all right, I need to kind of like disagree and, and speak on what I got going on for myself. Because this feels like this person's dream that they expressing to me, like, is a subtle way to say, hint, hint, wake, wake, you know what I'm saying? We should do this, I saw us in this dream doing this, so we should do this. And it's like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got, and so what if you don't have a plan just yet for what you got going on too? Because that's another thing where you could kind of play yourself in the sense of, oh well, but I don't have, you're not lying if you say because if you're figuring things out, like if you don't have a plan, figuring things out is a plan in essence, you know what I'm saying? Your plan is to figure things out still, you know what I'm saying? So, because again, feel like if you don't have something actually in motion and all of it planned out, then, I'm lying if I say that, I'm busy or I'm not free to connect on that idea. It's like, no, like I'm straight on it, and I'm still, getting things together, whatever the case may be. But just being aware of that, that subtlety. Because I spoke on it a while back, and I caught a reminder catching one of the Bridget videos, Bridget Raw, and I was just busting out laughing because it's like, yeah, that's true, that's subtle. Oh, we should do this, so I saw us. Take what resonate, leave what don't, you know what I'm saying? You have to figure this out all for your own, all for yourself, so don't just take my perspective on it, you know what I'm saying? But peace, now's the vibrate, not too far in the future, not too far in the past, right now. Peace.